I'm doing the devil reading. I am behind by two, meaning yesterday and today's reading. So I'm doing the devil reading for Saturday, August 15th, the day of the royal command. Devil, your own worst enemy. This is a long reading, but there's no way I'll be able to do it before going to work. So, soul's destiny, believe in your ability. Let's start this reading off with the Knight of Pentacles. Trees that don't bend in the wind won't last the storm. Long awaited outcome, slow and steady progress, long standing situation. The knight and steed are adorned in suit colors, with the pentacle shield and the alchemical sign for earth. They appear to have taken the scenic route as they steadily ride through verdant countryside. The squirrel can represent resourcefulness, being industrious, and keeping store. The rabbit acts as a reminder of the fable that it's not always the fastest who wins the race. The Knight of Pentacles represents a long standing situation that finally comes to fruition and can relate to any area of life. It often brings the outcome to a matter that has been patiently awaited or results finally forthcoming for something that you've almost given up on. It can indicate a slow burning situation or something developed over a long period of time. So the Knight of Pentacles suggests slow and steady progress in planning for the long term. If you're using the Knight to represent a young person or facet of personality, they would be steady and reliable, practical and methodical by nature, and fairly mellow. They don't like to be rushed and can be stubborn or set in their ways. Reversed or challenging aspects, situations can become stuck without movement or progress, including financial resources. Representing a person or character trait, it would assume the less favorable aspects. Someone with lack of imagination and ambition. Becoming set in being in boring routines. It may also suggest laziness. So where did that come from, huh? Hmm. Let's go ahead and share this to Facebook before I continue. Oh, shucks. Hmm. The devil, your own worst enemy. Ending and closure, major change, transformation. An armored skeleton faces us head on, as though ensuring we must confront it. The banner holds the white rose of purity and life, and the shield depicts a white horse, often linked to the gods, and a symbol of strength and power. The death card brings closure to a situation and an ending that will usher in major change, whereby an area of life will be transformed as a result. To benefit from change, we need to remain open to it and recognize that through every life experience, we have been given the opportunity for major growth on some level. The death card can release us from those things that no longer serve us, but we continue to cling to because we fear change. In doing so, we deny ourselves new opportunities that await. Throughout the course of our lives, we encounter many death card experiences, as without them, there would be no change and no new beginnings. It heralds the ending of one phase of life to make way for a new one. This card may present itself for someone experiencing the grieving process, but the interpretation is normally figurative and rarely literal. Reversed or challenging aspects, the death card reverse can indicate a refusal to let go and move on from an ending, being in denial that something is over, resistance to change, a slow decline, and prolonged ending or a stagnating situation. Oh my goodness. I did all that reading and was supposed to read. Was supposed to read the hopefully you guys can hear me. Let me make sure because I got it sitting up. And I'm gonna be reading The Devil. The Devil. Okay, I can hear myself. The Devil. So I started off with the Knight of Coins, Pentacles. Trees that don't bend in the wind won't last the storm. So the devil, your own worst enemy. Excess unhealthy behavior, secret plans, engulfed by flames. A bare torso emerges against the backdrop of a large pentacle. The element of fire and earth dominate, representing unbridled energy and material pleasures. The horned mask can suggest secrecy, but also the blind pursuit of earthly desires. The devil represents the shadow side of human nature, so all forms of excessive tendencies and hedonistic behaviors can feature. The card is steeped in the temptations of the earthly and material world. Addictions can sometimes feature as a form of self-enslavement. The devil is like the itch that you can't scratch, yet you're always free to walk away. The devil can indicate a passionate or compelling relationship with a strong physical attraction, and although not usually a healthy one, it can suggest obsession, controlling, and manipulative behavior. Or clandestine affair, but check any supporting or surrounding cards to verify. It may also carry an aspect of secrecy, such as secret plans being made either by you or others around you. The oppressive nature of this card can add a sense of heaviness when you feel helpless to change your situation. The devil has a toxic quality that can taint any card it immediately follows. Reversed or challenging aspects, when reversed, it can represent release from unhealthy behavior or negative influences. When upright and followed or surrounded by challenging cards, it can intensify the upright meaning and sometimes indicate nefarious activities. The Emperor. Life is what you make it. Leadership and authority, responsibility, structure, and stability. The emperor dominates the scene as he rises above and surveys his domain, showing one in control and command. He stands in front of the zodiac wheel, suggesting mastery and rule over all. Aries sit above his head, a symbol of leadership with fiery passion. The scrolls indicate important affairs of state as he plans and governs for the benefit of a stable hierarchical society. The emperor represents leadership and authority with good reasoning skills and calm rationale to help forge structure and bring stability to situations. An area of life may require you to step forward and take the reins with a sense of purpose and mature responsibility to be in control and in command of the situation. This card can place you in a good position to achieve your ambitions by adopting similar qualities and stepping into your power. It can suggest successful endeavors and promotions or positions of responsibility may be highlighted. Sometimes it can represent those in powerful positions as higher authorities of the land, the leaders and rule makers of society. In relationships, it may suggest taking a head over heart approach or favoring logic over emotions, but it can also help to bring stability. Reversed or challenging aspects can become domineering or tyrannical, self important or drunk on power or ego out of control. Ambitions may fail to become realized, authority is weakened, and leadership is under threat. Secure structures and situations become unstable. The Eight of Pentacles. Struggle now, enjoy later. New work, learning and studying. Surrounded by books and working by candlelight, a young apprentice studies the pentacle at their desk, suggesting learning and commitment to the task. Seven pentacles hang above as they continue to perfect their technique. A spider weaves webs around the pentacle and desk, marking the passage of time as an industrious mouse observed their efforts. The Eight of Pentacles is known as the card of the apprentice, so it can represent learning and studying in a traditional setting, but also vocational courses or an informal study program. It suggests dedication to your craft as you polish and perfect your skills towards mastering proficiency. This is the main card I would usually look for to show a new job or position of employment. Whilst for those in business or self-employed, it can show there will be new work arriving. It can represent refining your natural talents and for some the possibility of developing them into a business. And on a literal level, it can sometimes suggest going back to the drawing board. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate unfulfilled work. Unfulfilling work where skills and abilities aren't fully utilized, lack of appreciation or application within work or training. Careless efforts taking a new role or project that is short lived, being out of work, or the realization that a new position is a dead end job that lacks future prospects, lack of new work for those in business. The Seven of Swords, the Devil Within. Stealth and strategy, unexpected twist, surveillance. A man exits an ornate gateway with an armful of swords, but his attention remains fixed upon the two lanes scattered and left behind in what appears to be a rushed or poorly executed plan. He is observed by a fox, which often symbolizes cunning. The Seven of Swords can show an unexpected twist as the outcome to a matter, resulting in an unintended consequences or the development of a plan that turns out to be only partially successful, often due to haste or lax planning. Whatever you may be dealing with, try to take a strategic approach and don't leave anything to chance as you execute your plans. It can suggest that you're handling something extremely careful to ensure a good outcome, whether dealing with a person or a tricky situation. However, be sure you're acting with honorable intentions at all times, as it can be a fine line between careful planning and manipulation a situation in order to achieve your aims. The Seven of Swords can also highlight surveillance or under cover activities going on in the background, okay? Reversed or challenging aspects. The Seven of Swords reverse can indicate being caught in the act or red-handed. It advises to pay heed to good advice. If the upright card is followed by a challenging card, then it can suggest sneaking around, snooping, stalking, or possibly theft. The Five of Wands. Discretion is the better part of valor. Petty obstacles, competition, and friction. Five youths are sparing with each other, and the atmosphere seems competitive and highly charged. The terrain appears challenging under a moody sky. The wands create a zigzag as though scattering the energy. The Five of Wands can indicate petty obstacles where it seems as though it's one thing after another to thwart your efforts. But whilst wearing, it's not insurmountable. The fives are the halfway point where situations can tip one way or the other, so they bring an element of instability. Although usually temporary in nature, in work or business, you may experience a competitive environment and rivalry. Or office politics can sometimes feature. This will be a challenging atmosphere if you're applying for work or trying to start a new endeavor, as it can show a competitive field or numerous hindrances creating obstructions. There may be conflicts of interest, as it could be difficult to find agreement with others, as everyone may have a different viewpoint and be coming at things from a different angle. It is a card of tension and friction, or a lack of agreement rather than one of full blown quarrels. Reversed or challenging aspects. The Five of Wands reverse. Is it wands? Yes. The Five of Wands reverse can add fuel to the fire, although some accounts see it as making progress and an end to disagreements. When followed by a less favorable card, it may indicate a tense situation that could escalate into something more serious. The Star, somewhere over the rainbow. The energy of today, actually. Hope in healing, improving circumstances, inspiration. Under the gentle light of eight stars, a naked woman gently pours illuminated water from two vessels into the calm pool of the unconscious. Nakedness suggests truth and purity. The ancients looked to the stars for navigation, and a compass has 8 points representing guidance. The star on her forehead may suggest inspired thoughts. The star is the card of hope. It brings a sense of optimism and tells you to have faith, safe in the knowledge that better times lie ahead. Its beautiful aspects mean it is always a welcome sight in any situation, and it reminds you to believe in yourself. It brings inspired thoughts with a renewed vision for the future, and your plans show promise under the light of the star. For some, it may be literal, placing you in the spotlight and allowing you to shine. The calm and gentle energy of this lovely card can bring healing to any situation and indicates improved circumstances for your general well being or health matters. It can reinvigorate relationships and help to heal rifts and suggest harmonious living conditions, especially if times have been tough of late. Reversed or challenging aspects, the star reverse can suggest a lack of faith, losing hope, or feeling down and discouraged or world weary. When the upright card is followed by less favorable aspects, it may show a temporary reprieve before challenges return. So the death card, all things must come to an end or come to pass. Endings and closures, major change, transformation. An armored skeleton faces us head on, as though ensuring we must confront it. The banner holds the white rose of purity and life, and the shield depicts a white horse, often linked to the gods, and a symbol of strength and power. The death card brings closure to a situation and an ending that will usher in major change, whereby an area of life will be transformed as a result. To benefit from change, we need to remain open to it and recognize that through every life experience, we have been given the opportunity for major growth on some level. The death card can release us from those things that no longer serve us, but we continue to cling to because we fear change. In doing so, we deny ourselves new opportunities that await. Throughout the course of our lives, we encounter many death card experiences, as without them, there would be no change and no new beginnings. It heralds the ending of one phase of life to make way for a new one. This card may present itself for someone experienced the grieving process, but the interpretation is normally figurative and rarely literal. Reversed or challenging aspects, the death card reversed can indicate a refusal to let go and move on from an ending, being in denial that something is over, resistance to change, a slow decline and prolonged ending, or a stagnating situation. The Tower, a wake up call. Sudden upheaval, abrupt change, disruption, oh my. Storm clouds gather in the heavens as a lightning bolt strikes the tower, sending a naked figure tumbling headlong from the fiery blast to an unknown destination. We never know where lightning may strike, suggesting it is an unforeseen and shocking event. The tower can represent an abrupt change that brings upheaval and disruption. Unexpected news may arrive suddenly that shake the fabric of your world, or a situation disintegrates. As creatures of habit, the structure we build in our lives creates a sense of security. Sudden change rattles the foundation and plunges us headlong into uncertainty. This abrupt event usually comes from an eternal source and may feel outside of our control, so there tend to be an air of inevitability about it. However, you can control your response, so it can serve as a warning to consider alternative plans or prepare contingency measures. As with all the cards, the tower operates across a wide spectrum. Keep a sense of perspective rather than assume an extreme or worst case scenario. The tower brings a flash of insight as it removes a false philosophy that was built on shaky foundations, and it allows you to build anew from a stronger base. Reversed or challenging aspects, the tower reverse may minimize the impact of the upright, meaning or can indicate a danger averted. When followed by challenging aspects, it can intensify the situation and so show the subsequent fallout. The Queen of Pentacles. To have a friend, be a friend. Practical and reliable, highly organized, with an air of quiet confidence, the Queen displays her pentacle to us against a luxurious background of green and gold and a magnificent peacock, a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Despite her high rank and status, she is dressed in fine yet simple clothing, suggesting an easy composure with her worth. As a person or character traits, the Queen of Pentacles is capable, grounded, and down to earth. They are extremely orderly and a natural organizer with a keen eye for detail and a good practical skills. They have a solid and reliable nature, and home and family is important to them. They tend to take things in their stride and have an unflappable composure. The Queen of Pentacles is good at managing resources and usually adapt with financial affairs and material matters. Stability and security are important to them, but they can be fixated on details or become set in their ways. This card can also indicate someone who is moneyed or financially independent, can be connected to accountants or financial services. In divination, the Queen of Pentacles can indicate a mature adult. Traditionally, female can represent someone with an astrological sun sign of the earth element, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Reversed or challenging aspects may become rigid with routines and resist change at all costs, insecure and fixated upon material matters, constantly counting the cost regardless of financial positions, calculated behavior for financial gain, materialistic. The Five of Swords. No man is an island. Underhandedness, hidden agenda, hollow victory. A man poses with his sword aloft in a victorious gesture as he proudly displays four other swords as his trophy. The broken figures in the background show their defeat. His gain has been at the expense of their loss. The Five of Swords shows an element of deceit may be at work. Someone is not being honest in their dealings, and there's usually some form of underhandedness with a hidden agenda going on in the background, and it is devious behaviors is highlighted, and it can represent something being taken and lost in an unfair manner. Theft can be indicated, although not always of physical goods. The Five of Swords holds a spiteful edge and can warn of someone trying to take advantage of you or acting with malicious intent. As a dishonorable card that shows a lack of ethic and moral code, it advises care in all your dealings. The Five of Swords usually warn of something to guard against, but also reminds you to check your moral compass in all of your undertakings, as something gained by unfair measure would result in a hollow victory. Reversed or challenging aspects can amplify the upright meaning to a larger degree, while some see the reverse card as moving beyond a defeat or loss. If the upright card is followed by challenging cards, it can warn of a difficult situation, gathering momentum, or treachery gaining a foothold. The moon appearances can be deceptive. Uncertainty, illusions, and unknown factors, secrecy. A mechanical device appears to frame or project the moon onto a globe, creating an optical illusion. Set between two pillars, the moon dominates the scene in a twilight sky, suggesting an intermediate and changeable state. The creatures respond to their natural instincts, and the crab emerges from the ocean of the subconscious, representing the shadowy aspects of the unknown. The moon can represent illusionary situations, possible deceptions through veiled activity, and feelings of uncertainty due to unknown factors that cause confusion. Emotions are highly charged and fluctuating, similar to the ebb and flow of the tides from the gravitational pull of the moon, which can create a sense of instability. It can warn against jumping to conclusions, as the light of the moon can create illusions, shapes, and the shadows that are not what they seem. There's usually more to a situation than first meets the eye, so wait until the situation has revealed itself, as it will in due course. The mystical associations of the moon can represent dreams becoming more vivid as the subconscious reveals itself, and intuition may be heightened, but care will be needed due to the illusionary nature. Reversed or challenging aspects can intensify the less favorable aspects, such as delusion, hallucination, and paranoia, being switched off from reality. Trippy deception, smoke and mirrors, or concealment may suggest something dissipating, and on the wane. The Queen of Swords, saying it how it is. Independent spirit, perceptive. The queen raises her sword towards the elevated light on a column, which reflects on her crown and sword, symbolic of the ability to cut through illusions to find wisdom and clarity. The doves are symbols of peace, showing this queen is a seeker of truth and justice. The cat beside her may symbolize feline grace with an independent spirit. As a person or representing character traits, the Queen of Swords is perspective with an independent spirit. They have strength of character with a straightforward manner and deal with situations objectively. With a sharp and agile mind and a natural appetite for knowledge and information, they have an almost forensic style of reasoning skills. They are a critical thinker who is solution orientated. They like to see fair play and are loyal to and protective of friends and loved ones. They may seem guarded or almost distant at times, tending to their own counsel and preferring a handful of trusted confidants, but they are not someone to be underestimated. May represent someone connected to the legal profession, the government, or uniformed service, police, or military. In divination, the Queen of Swords indicate an adult, a mature adult, traditionally female, and it can represent the astrological sun sign connected to the air element Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Reversed or challenging aspects, difficult to please with exacting standards, may be impatient, unforgiving, blunt, critical, or cutting with a sharp tongue, can be vengeful if cross, may come across as cold hearted, unyielding, steely, and remote. The world, all's well that ends well. Triumph, triumphant conclusion, successful completion. A female figure is confidently poised on a column of golden light surrounded by a laurel wreath, symbolizing success. She holds a wand in each hand, representing the union of opposites now fully integrated. Under starry skies, four emblems representing the elemental suit of the tarot bear witness, suggesting the perfect order of the cosmos and our unified place within it. The world closes the circle to achieve a triumphant conclusion and successful completion, so it can represent the culmination and attainment of a crowning moment in some area of your life. Regarding rewards are well deserved, as you will feel delighted with your accomplishments, which bring happiness and a deep sense of fulfillment, just as the inexperienced fool sets off on his journey through the majors of themes and advice throughout speak of duality and balance until we finally arrive at the world where all the lessons have been applied to achieve the harmonious and perfected state of realization. The world is considered to be one of the most positive cards in the deck and assures of triumph and your endeavors, you're on top of the world. However, reversed or challenging aspects can indicate delays or blocks to the upright meaning, but maybe may also suggest stagnation, difficulty achieving long term aims, and incomplete goal or unfinished business. If the upright card is followed by one that is challenging, it can thwart plans and may indicate short lived success. The Four of Wands, turning a new page. Stability, leisure time, wedding plans. Four wands firmly planted in the ground form a square, an equal sided structure that can symbolize stability. As matters find formation, a family dressed in simple attire appears happy and relaxed in peaceful surroundings. The garland adoring, adorning the four wands is often likened to a wedding bower. The Four of Wands brings structure and stability to your plans as a result of the work that has gone before. You should feel satisfied with what you have so far accomplished, which means you can now reward yourself with some time out. Holidays may be indicated a time of rest and relaxation with loved ones and a welcome pause to enjoy some downtime with recreation and leisure pastimes. A rural setting or country activities may feature. The Four of Wands brings a feel-good factor into play, a sense of harmony and contentment with self and life, and a reminder of the joy that can be found in the simple pleasures of life. When appearing alongside other cards that may indicate marriage, such as the Ten of Cups, or the Hierophant, it may suggest wedding plans are being made. Reverse or challenging aspects, the reverse Four of Wands still retains a fairly positive outlook, although it recommends checking the foundations of your plans to ensure they are on a solid basis. Some see it as a sign of insecurity or instability. The Hierophant, don't reinvent the wheel. Traditions and conventions, institutions, and marriage. The religious leader stands before a stained glass window against a background of the night sky, acting as a channel for from the heavenly and divine to the material world. His clothing reflects the investments of higher office. He holds one hand upward and the other down, indicating as above, so below, in the act of dispensing benediction and divine guidance to the congregation. The Hierophant represents traditional values and the conventions of society. It sets the tone for meeting certain expectations within a set of guiding principles and can suggest following your moral compass, following the rules, and conforming within a hierarchical system. Traditional establishments and excuse me, I get it. I just be getting my kids to pop up in my head, be throwing me off. Traditional establishments and institutions can feature, so marriage and conventional family units may fall within its scope, but it also covers large organizations, often bureaucratic in nature, that follow established systems and structure procedures. It can apply to educational establishments, government departments and officials, hospitals, charity, churches, and religious organizations, and also large commercial companies. The Hierophant may represent a respected figure in your community, a guide or a mentor, or someone you can go for advice and wise counsel. Reverse or challenging aspects can take the conformity to a negative extreme, blind dogma, a false prophet, a cult, or someone corrupt and self-serving in a public position of trust. Losing faith, throwing ethic and morals to the wind. Alternatively, some see the reverse card as unorthodoxy and being unconventional, challenging accepted norms. The meditation is the Knight of Swords. Anger is the only thing improved by delay. Events unfolding rapidly, swift and decisive action. Bedecked colors of the suit, the knight draws their sword, ready for action. The shield heraldry bears the alchemical sign of the air element. Their high vantage point provides a strategic advantage on their quest as a seeker of truth, suggesting lofty ideals. An eagle soars in the heaven, a symbol of honesty, truth, and wisdom. The Knight of Swords indicates a rapid pace, with events unfolding at such speed it may feel quite chaotic. It brings a powerful force into play and can place you in a strong position, but you need to be ready to roll with a fast-paced situation and take swift and decisive action as required. This card adds a turbo charge to events and is sure to get things moving. Anticipate a sense of urgency with a fast-moving situation and have your running shoes on standby. If using the knight to represent a young person or facet of personality, then the Knight of Swords would be brave and courageous, honest and principled, and quick-witted with a serious demeanor. They can also be strong-willed, impatient, and aloof. Reversed or challenging aspects, dashing into things without care or planning, reckless behavior, or aggressively pursuing something for the sake of it without cause or principle. As a facet of character or a person, it can indicate someone who is hostile, aggressive, antagonistic, distant, and cold-hearted. Okay, we're getting along there. The devil, your own worst enemy. For this reading's for August 15th, Saturday, the day of the royal command. The Wheel of Fortune. What goes around comes around. Change of fortune, fate, and destiny. The disc appears to be symbolic of the astrological wheel, suggesting the ongoing and natural passage of time. The wheel sits atop a mechanical device, so we can assume the mechanism drives it, highlighting the absence of human intervention. The Wheel of Fortune brings a change of circumstances, and usually of the favorable variety. As the card of fate and destiny, it suggests those elements of nature outside of our control. The wheel is the card of good luck and good fortune. When the hand of fate turns, the wheel and Lady Luck smiles upon us. It indicates a commencement of a fortunate new level that brings opportunities when progress can be made. The Wheel of Fortune acts as a reminder of the constant cycle of life and the inevitability of change. Nothing can stay the same, as eventually the wheel will turn to usher in a new chapter, and so begins the next rotation. What is down goes back up, and vice versa, although the wheel is usually considered a positive influence. Reversed or challenging aspects. When reversed, it can indicate a more challenging period when it feels as though luck is running against you or draining away. An uphill struggle. It can also represent resisting change. If the upright wheel is followed by challenging cards, good luck may be fleeting and take a downward turn. The Knight of Pentacles. Trees that don't bend in the wind won't last the storm. The Queen of Wands. The spark of life. Warm and gregarious, spontaneous, the vibrant colors associated with fire dominate the scene. The queen greets you face on with wand in hand, in preparation for action. The fire of her domain burned brightly atop a decorative column, as a small dog observed her affectionately, a symbol of loyalty. Examining character traits, the Queen of Wands has an open and cheerful disposition with a bright and bubbly nature that attracts others. They often have a wide social circle and are excellent networkers, a social butterfly, energetic and always on the go. There's never enough hours to cram everything into their busy and varied calendar. The Queen of Wands is full of fun and makes a loyal friend. They love life and like to make the most of every moment, but can have a fear of missing out. Attention to details is not their strong point, so they can be disorganized and prefer spontaneity over routine. In divination, the Queen of Wands represents a mature adult, traditionally female, and this may be someone you know or someone of this description who is yet to play a part when appearing in future positions. It can represent someone with the astrological sun sign of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, fire element. Reversed or challenging aspects. The Queen of Wands reverse may be chaotic and unreliable, unpredictable, conceited, and fiery. They may create drama, lack of self-discipline, and can be an exploitative social climber prone to gossip and spiteful if crossed. So there are 8 questions to 8 cards. Card 1, Ego. Who is the person that I think of myself as? What identity am I most interested in preserving? The 7 of Cups. So many choices, so little time. Options and choices. Pipe dreams, like visions from a dreamscape. Each of the 7 cups partially reveals a fascinating curiosity. You would need to step closer to see them fully. They float in the air, suggesting subconscious desire or tempting daydreams. The dark clouds in the background serve as a warning against clouded judgment. While the 7 of Cups can bring options and choices, it is also a card that warns of daydreams and unrealistic desires. The tempting choices on display have an illusionary nature, which adds a cautionary note of being sensible to avoid wishful thinking and building castles in the air. You may feel overwhelmed in a situation where multiple options seem to be available. Imaginations could color your thinking, and it would be easy to get carried away with the potential possibilities. Whatever you may be faced with, ensure you take a practical and realistic approach and thoroughly research all the facts available before making your choice. Reverse or challenging aspect may represent a clearer vision for the future with the ability to cut through illusions. An alternative view considers a lack of choice and lost opportunity through dithering. Some see the reverse card as an expansion of the upright meaning, and this may be the case if the upright 7 of Cups has a challenging aspect when followed by a less favorable card. Card number 2, the shadow. Who is my shadow? What part of myself have I rejected? What am I ashamed of, insecure about? The King of Swords. Nothing succeeds like success. Serious and responsible, enigmatic. The King of Swords' steely throne appears to dominate him, perhaps referencing the cool exterior he exudes, cold as steel. It floats in the sky of his airy domain, indicating analytical thought as he presents his sword with a serious demeanor. As a person or representing character traits, the King of Swords has an authoritative presence and can make a natural leader with courage, and a good backbone. Quietly confident with a reserved demeanor, they may appear slightly detached and prefer to get on with the task at hand without fuss or fanfare. They are observant, an analytical and rational thinker with a sharp mind and good intelligence, and a reasoned and articulate individual. They're not inclined to wear their heart on their sleeve and may seem something of a closed book and difficult to fathom, but they have hidden depths. The King of Swords makes a loyal friend and protective partner, provides good advice, likes to see fair play, and takes responsibility seriously. The card can sometimes represent someone in uniform or legal or justice positions. In divination, the King of Swords indicates a mature adult, traditionally male. It can represent the astrological sun sign connected to the air elements, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Reversed or challenging aspects can appear to be standoffish or unapproachable, tough and flexible and uncompromising, may seem formidable and intimidating. Some see the reverse card as the opposite, representing flawed thoughts and decision making, or someone weak and ineffectual. Card number 3, comfort. What makes me comfortable? What is it about my attachments that I find so soothing? What makes what makes it difficult to face the shadow, the star, somewhere over the rainbow? Hope and healing. Did I read the star? Yes, I've already read the star. I can move on. Card number 4, avoidance. But I'll say the star, hope and healing, improving circumstances, inspiration. Okay? 4, avoidance. What am I trying to avoid? What feelings does my shadow bring up in me? What do I fear? The Ten of Pentacles, the calm. I thought it was before the storm, but I got after the storm. So I say before the storm. Ten of Pentacles. And I didn't read that. Financial security, home and family stability, property. Amongst a lush and fertile setting, an open and decorative wooden chest overflows with golden pentacles, suggesting wealth and security. Rodents are hard-working creatures stockpiling resources close to their nests. The Ten of Pentacles represents wealth and prosperity and indicates a time of material stability and security for the home and family. This card often suggests larger financial assets connected to the family, such as home, and may feature when people are buying and selling property. In relationships, it can indicate nesting and setting up home together by putting down roots and can suggest the potential for permanence built on a solid foundation. Family treasures, legacies, and heirlooms are passed down through the lineage of generations, so an inheritance can be indicated when supported by other relevant cards. It can show material stability attained over time, and the wider circle of the family line can be represented with the intergenerational generational links of the family tree. The Ten of Pentacles shows the satisfaction of feeling settled and materially secure. Your home and family have a stable and comfortable foundations. However, reversed or challenging aspect, challenges or disputes within the family, often of a material and financial nature, can also reveal tensions through generational differences, financial insecurity. It may suggest a stressful period of instability for the home and family, but most particularly in relation to material losses. Card number 5, projection. How is the projection of my shadow affecting others? Where is my outer life? Do I see my shadow? Who is my scapegoat? The Three of Pentacles. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Main occupation, master of your craft, skilled work. The blacksmith is skilled in his endeavors and a master craftsman of his art, surrounded by the tools of his trade in the workplace setting. He displays his wares with an expression of pride and satisfaction. The Three of Pentacles represents accomplishing a high standard of competency in your work, having perfected the skills of your craft. Others recognize your talent and capabilities, and you may be considered an expert in your field. It can also represent work you enjoy and have a natural ability for. If you have recently taken new positions, then you have the potential to shine in this particular field or role. Your work could come to the attention of others, and for some, it may bring appreciation through some form of recognition, especially if appearing together with the Six of Wands, which may suggest a formal reward. You should feel a sense of satisfaction and achievement through your careful efforts to attain mastery in your craft, which brings gains with recognition. On a mundane level, it can highlight your main occupation. However, reversed or challenging aspects of Three of Pentacles reverse may show sloppy or bad workmanship, lacking fulfillment within your work, or feeling that your efforts are not being appreciated, and sometimes redundancy, loss of employment, or a lack of work if in business or self-employed. Rejection. How is the rejection of my shadow affecting my personal life? What else am I rejecting in order to remain comfortable? What am I giving up? The Nine of Swords. Worry is interest paid on trouble before it is due. And I believe I read that already, didn't I? I don't see it. The Nine of Swords. Worry and anxiety, despair and anguish. A woman sits up in bed with her arms wrapped across herself in a comforting gesture as though waking from a nightmare. Nine Swords appears to bar the window with a threatening aim towards her as an owl observes from outside, symbolizing wisdom. Symbolizing wisdom. A specter looms above the swords, haunting her thoughts. The Nine of Swords represents suffering from worry and anxiety, the problems that keep you awake at night, or the haunting fear that disturbs your dreams. This card can suggest that difficult circumstances may be getting the better of you, and it did, but I'm okay. In the image, the swords bar and block the open window, creating the impression that there's no escape from the problem, and the lack of solution inflicts a sense of despair or anguish that brings sleepless nights. The owl outside the window may suggest that knowledge and wisdom are available from external resources, so it could be time to share your concerns. If the Nine of Swords is surrounded by favorable cards and appearing out of place, it may indicate unfounded fear or worrying for the sake of it. Imposter syndrome may be relevant for some. Reversed or challenging aspects can represent the gradual recovery from a problematic situation. Some readers see the reverse card as intensifying the upright interpretation, and this would be relevant when the upright Nine of Swords is followed by challenging cards, which could imply exacerbation and a worsening situation. Card number 7. What does forgiveness and healing look like? How can I soothe myself? Smooth myself? How do I heal my wounds? The Tower. A wake up call. Sudden upheaval, abrupt change and disruption. Did I read that already? No, I guess that was earlier. Okay. Storm. Storm clouds gather in the heavens as a lightning bolt strikes the tower, sending a naked figure tumbling headlong from the fiery blast to an unknown destination. We never know where lightning may strike, suggesting it is an unforeseen and shocking event. The tower can represent an abrupt change that brings upheavals and disruption. Unexpected news may arrive suddenly that shakes the fabric of your world, or a situation disintegrates. As creatures of habit, the structure we build in our lives create a sense of security. Sudden change rattles the foundation and plunges us headlong into uncertainty. This abrupt event usually comes from an external source and may feel outside of your control, so there tends to be an air of inevitability about it. Somehow, however, you can control your response, so it can serve as a warning to consider alternative plans or prepare contingency measures. As with all the cards, the tower operates across a wide spectrum. Keep a sense of perspective rather than assuming an extreme or worst case scenario. The tower brings a flash of insight as it removes a false philosophy that was built on shaky foundations, and it allows you to build anew from a stronger base. Reversed or challenging aspects, the tower reverse may minimize the impact of the upright meaning or can indicate a danger averted. When followed by challenging aspects, it can intensify the situation and show the subsequent fallout. Card number 8, release. Where am I headed if I can find forgiveness? What is my potential once I free myself? The Ten of Wands, carrying the weight of the world. Seems like I didn't read that. Okay. Yes, overwhelmed and overburdened, under pressure. What began as a good ideal in the ace has now become a burden the man carries on his back. All the wands gained from his experience throughout the journey are now weighing him down as he awkwardly tries to support them all. The 10 wands completion of the suit, and although he works long into the night, he marches determinedly onward towards the rising dawn. The Ten of Wands carries suggests carrying a heavy load or too much of something. You may feel overwhelmed or overburdened by a situation, and this can be in any area of life. In career matters, it may show overworking or a burnout situation, pressures of work, or an avalanche of work arriving, so not necessarily bad in the instance of managing if managing correctly. In the home, it can represent feeling as though you have too many responsibilities in relationships and may suggest that you're feeling under pressure or a heavy situation, a heavy going situation. And in finances, it could indicate being weighed down by a material matter. This card can act as a reminder to delegate and find balance, and that successful endeavors also bring more responsibility. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Ten of Wands reverse, can bring more pressure and additional stress to the matter and suggest worsening situation, an uphill battle, drudgery, futile efforts. Some see the reverse card as a release from said burdens. I'm trying not to feel so sorry for myself. I can't believe I'm in this situation. The Five of Cups, healing loss, disappointment, sadness, and loss, grieving. The tone of this card makes an immediate impact from the moody sky to the stance of the grieving warrior, mourning the loss of the three overturned and spilt cups. They do not see the two upright cups behind them. Traditionally, the Five of Cups is the card of sadness and loss and shows that you may be experiencing feelings of disappointment and regret. There's an element of sorrow, so it can represent the natural process of grieving and mourning that accompanies the impact of the emotional loss. Whilst the three spilled cups indicate something that has been lost, the two upright cups show that something good still remains or will evolve out of the situation. And although it may not yet be evident in the present moment, it should become apparent at a later date. The nature of the five is usually temporarily in larger spreads. Please check surrounding or following cards to see if the situation improves or how matters will progress. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Five of Cups reverse can indicate healing and recovery following a situation that brought a heavy heart, but not a total reversal of the matter. If the upright Five of Cups is followed by a less favorable card, it would suggest that matters are escalated and can indicate a worsening situation. The Devil, your own worst enemy. The Ten of Swords is always dark before the dawn. I thought I read it. I didn't. I gotta read it. Disappointing endings, failed plans. Oh, I'm trying to, I don't want to get up and turn on no light. A motionless figure lies beneath 10 radiant swords that bear down from a darkened sky amidst the scene of defeat. Red poppies rise from the ground, a symbol of hope and peace for the future. The 10 brings completion of the suit and closure of a cycle, but in the suit of challenges, the swords appears to have gained the upper hand as they subjugate the figure in the card. Whilst the Ten of Swords can suggest an ending to a difficult situation, it can also represent failed plans that bring a sense of disappointment. A situation may come to a close and fail to live up to your expectations, or plans may not materialize as you hope. However, it brings a release from an exhausting cycle, perhaps with something you just couldn't win or was just not meant to be. Being resigned to accept or surrender to overwhelming forces that seem stacked against you may be considered a wise move rather than a failure. As the poppies in the image demonstrates, new life will emerge and continue, offering hope for pathways yet to come. Reversed or challenging aspects, the reverse card may bring recovery and improvement following loss or defeat, with the inability to find a temporary advantage within the matter. When the upright Ten of Swords is followed by another challenging card, it can accentuate the less favorable influence. The Queen of Wands, the spark of life. The Seven of Swords, the devil within. The Nine of Wands, battle hardened. Did I read that? I didn't. I gotta read it. I'm trying to hurry up before my roommate comes in. Perseverance and persistence, determination. The warrior holds firmly on to the nine wands as though for strength and support. Despite his weary demeanor, he makes a valiant stand and readiness to protect and defend the eight wands behind him. The moody sky suggests unsettled conditions, so the nine of wands represents perseverance and persistence, and despite the weariness of effort and the journey so far, it suggests it's time to dig down deep and keep pressing on. You can rise to meet the challenge despite stressful conditions, so now is the moment to gather all your reserves for one final push forward to the finish line. The eight wands behind the weary warrior demonstrates the accumulation of his efforts to date and the battles that have been endured to reach this point. In similar fashion, it can show your preparedness to muster up the strength to see something through despite any trying conditions. The Nine of Wands represents having strength and determination in challenging circumstances, so now is not the moment to give up and throw in the towel. Reversed or challenging aspects, obstacles prevent progress. Despite best efforts, challenges can feel relentless and are starting to gain ground to get the upper hand. A sense of world weariness may be developing in the face of what feels like an endless struggle and thankless task, and you may be questioning your motives. Challenging aspects may suggest thwarted efforts. The devil, your own worst enemy. For this reading is for August 15th, 2026, the day of royal command. The Knight of Wands, act in haste, regret at leisure. I thought I read that. Dang. Getting it mixed up from earlier. Change of residence, relocation, long journey. The knight and his steed are fully bedecked in heraldic finery bearing the alchemical sign for the fire element, with one held aloft. This fiery night has a purposeful air as they venture forth on their quest. They seem unperturbed by an erupted volcano in the background, a reminder of the powerful force of the fire together with the bold, adventurous spirit of the night. All the night suggests action and movement and represents some type of event and the Knight of Wands is the main card to indicate a change of residence. It can also suggest a lot of movement within the home, such as renovations or people moving in or out. In the workplace, it may bring relocation or different surroundings. Travel can be indicated and it may suggest a long journey. As a combination of both aspects, it can sometimes represent immigration. If you decide to use the Knight to represent a young person or character trait, then the Knight of Wands is excitable and energetic with youthful exuberance, bold and adventurous with ambitious ideas. They can be passionate, sociable, and outgoing, but also headstrong, impulsive, and rash. The reversed intelligent aspects can introduce interruptions and delays, a disruptive influence to the advancement of activities, representing a personal facet of personality and it highlights the less favorable character aspects and can also suggest aggressive tendencies, a devil-may-care attitude, or rowdy or roguish behavior. Death, all things must come to an end. The King of Cups, harmony is more important than truth. I know I didn't read that. So let's read it. King of Cups. Easygoing nature, benevolent. The king holds the golden cup that represents his watery domain as he sits upon a throne amidst the ocean, symbolizing the depth of emotion. His stance appears relaxed and informal as though lounging. Although he faces towards you, his gaze suggests he is distracted. The King of Cups personality is kind-hearted and considerate to others. They are affable and polite with a pleasant disposition. They tend to be quiet in nature and unassuming with an easygoing manner, and they usually get along with others as they're inoffensive and rarely create enemies. The King of Cups is a thoughtful and generous friend and a supportive and considerate partner who values their family and loved ones. Due to their compassionate and sympathetic nature and concern for the well-being of others, they can do well in any form of caring, counseling, or supporting capacity. They may have the creative tendency and emotional depth, but can also be warriors with who avoid dealing with unpleasantness and difficult circumstances. In divination, the King of Cups would indicate a mature adult of this description. Traditionally, male can represent the astrological sun sign of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Reversed or challenging aspects may be melancholy or moody, lack drive or backbone, or be petty, impractical, or a daydreamer. May suffer from ostrich syndrome. Some see the reverse card as detached from emotions and emotionally unavailable. The Seven of Wands, fortune favors the brave. I already read that, right? How come I don't see it? Come on. Okay. Defending your corner, courage or of convictions, negotiations. A man appears to guard a brightly lit doorway. With wand in hand, he confidently stands his ground to the six other wands that advance towards him. The open doorway may suggest the inner plane of his psychic, his internal world and beliefs rather than the material or physical world. The Seven of Wands suggests that you may be challenged and feel the need to defend your corner on a point of principle or regarding something that you feel strongly about. It may be time to stand up and be counted, and this could be concerning a matter that's close to your heart or where you feel your integrity is at stake. Whilst you may meet with opposition, the Seven of Wands indicates that you hold an advantage and have the upper hand. So with the right approach, you can win through in the situation. To do so, you will need to remain calm, have confidence in yourself, and progress. Possess the courage to stand up for what you believe in. The Seven of Wands can also represent negotiation. So reverse or challenging aspects, you may be working from a weakened position and have difficulty holding forth. Self-doubt or inability to be decisive and hold firm. For some, it may indicate taking a dogmatic approach, being of a fixed mindset, or being overly defensive. The Five of Swords, no man is an island. The Two of Pentacles, going with the flow. Maintaining balance, cash flow multiples. A stormy sky appears to brew against a calm sea, suggesting mixed conditions. The well-dressed merchant concentrates while juggling two golden pentacles through a rainbow, which is usually considered to be a good omen. The Two of Pentacles represents the effort required to successfully maintain a balance in some area of life and suggests you have the ability to keep everything flowing smoothly. It can feel as though you're engaged in a balancing act. With some careful maneuvers, you can steady the ship and achieve harmonious equilibrium. In personal matters, it can indicate the effort required to attain balance between different aspects of life, such as home and work. It can suggest juggling finances, balancing the books, a cash flow situation, or a secondary source of income. In work matters, it can represent keeping more than one project going simultaneously, multitasking, job sharing, or having more than one job. There are various situations where you may be dealing with multiples, such as a second property, for example. So the question, the background, any surrounding cards, or the Two of Pentacles placements in a spread can help provide more context. Reversed or challenging aspects can represent fluctuating circumstances or a lack of balance. Frantic efforts can lead to mistakes and loss of control in a situation. Everything may feel out of kilter. With any challenging aspects, it may suggest dropping the ball and failure to hold things steady. So the last card is the Four of Pentacles. The more we get, the more we want. And it seems like I have not read that card. So let's end the reading with the Four of Pentacles. Material ambitions, overcaution, thrifty, and fine surroundings. A richly dressed merchant clutches a container of gold close to him, whilst admiring the Four Pentacles within. He appears overly attached to his possession. The Four Pentacles can show that you're focused upon your material ambitions and prepared to work hard to achieve financial goals. Material stability and security may be important to you at this time, so you could be saving for something important, or alternatively trying to be frugal and organize a budget to hold on to resources and improve your situation. And once you have achieved your aims, care should be taken to guard against the risk of an imbalance of values developing, such as materialistic or unhealthy preoccupations with money matters. The Four of Pentacles has a traditional reputation of being the card of the miserer. For some, it can represent withholding, a fear of loss, or being overly cautious, and this may be in any area of life, including on an emotional level. A calculated risk may be required to move things forward. Reverse or challenging aspects. Reverse, the less favorable aspects of the card can become situated with an excessive attachment to possessions, hoarding, or being miserly. Some see the reverse card as a sign of loss or money slipping away from you, but this could also be due to lax money management. So that has been the reading for the devil energy of Saturday, August 15th, 2026, the day of royal command. And today is Monday, August 17th, the day of the explosive power star somewhere over the rainbow. I had my housing inspections last Thursday. These motherfuckers that fucked me over. These are nothing but devils that's trying to take advantage of the homeless people and their hopes and their dreams. Some of them don't even have any more hopes because they old and they can't even live on their own. So they most likely will be leaving from here to the nursing home. However, they honor those that want to give up and just collect a check and go into a certain housing where it's they don't have to work and stuff. Meanwhile, I'm still able-bodied trying to work, and they want to tell me that the inspection didn't pass. Like, really? Really? I went and seen it, and the guy said, why would they show me in a house, an apartment not in that's not going to pass inspection? And the first inspection, you didn't even have the inspection. Claim you didn't even know who was supposed to be given the inspection. Like, they are so full of lies, and my cars never lie. These motherfuckers, I tell you. Oh my God's kingdom come. I hope I brought karma. I was born for the karma that is going to these folks, people in hard places. All I can do is go with the flow, because I can't do nothing. I don't have any money. I don't have any family. I have children that can't even give to me. They can't even give to themselves. I'm so upset. 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 I have to be thankful because I'm alive. Meanwhile, if I was unalive, my family would get the insurance money. They probably wouldn't even give it to my kids. They just, oh my goodness. This is so sad. This is so sad. But I can't help but just keep going further. I can't ball up into a ball and just let my life go. I can't. I'm a high priestess, bitch.